Hello, welcome back to Oxygen Not Included, where again I have prepared off camera. We finished building this thing and put a little bit of a thing here to distribute the thing. I'll explain this in a bit. We have another heat deletion power doohickey device here. So this side runs or powers, maintains this coolant loop, which we will be using in other places as well. These two will power or cool these two condensers. I need to stop stream cheating on you. Oh, come on. Shout out to that drywall keeping out hard vacuum. Yeah, drywall is MVP. So this thing here is going to produce liquid oxygen, which is an oxidizer. You know, from the name, oxygen oxidizes, yeah, you get the point. Which we're gonna use for our rockets to launch them more faster into space. The problem is we need to get this oxygen that's in here to cool down, like to minus 180. What's the condensation point again? 183. So we need to get below 183. And I don't have a liquid that has a freezing point below that, which is, you know, gonna make things difficult. Look at the guys. We're building a rocket. I told you we were gonna go to space. But yeah, so the way I'm gonna bootstrap this. Oh, it's there. Liquid oxygen. So I'm not cooling with a liquid, but rather I'm using hydrogen, which has a lower condensation point or dew point than oxygen. So I'm running it through a bunch of heat pumps, essentially, to cool the hydrogen down to like minus 230 and circulating it through here to produce the first batch of liquid oxygen. And you know what is liquid at below the condensation point of oxygen? Oxygen. Yeah, oxygen is going to be our coolant. We're going to be running a coolant loop filled with liquid oxygen to produce more liquid oxygen. Big brain. Galaxy brain. Also standard procedures, so I don't know. I have put up our little space telescope here, and I've analyzed a couple of these rocks. These have coal and diamond, which is not really what we need. We have iron, copper, obsidian, and question mark. This has methane, crude oil, and petroleum, so this is like a gaseous thing. Oily asteroid. Same thing here. I'm looking for something that has fullerene or niobium. These are high-tech space materials. And I have hooked up the space scanners, so each one of these has a random chance to detect a meteor shower between 99 seconds and 200 seconds before it arrives. So I have ANDed all of them together. So once all three give a signal out that, hey, there's a meteor shower coming, then we take that as, okay, it's probably gonna arrive soon-ish, which will send up a signal here. We have a little bit of a hysteresis filter here to remove any sporadical greens. And then we have that just open up all the bunker doors up top. So this is now exposed to space, and we can do the science bits. Look at Hexer going. The big brain scrapping his papers. Nope, not that one. That was wrong. What about that one? Nope, also wrong. Yeah, so this switch is an override to close all the doors regardless of what the sensor is saying. And down here I have a filter into an XOR gate, a buffer into XOR into a filter. So this is a negative edge detector. So once we have detected the asteroid shower and the meteor shower, and the meteor shower is over, that's the negative edge on this wire, which is going to create a 60-second long pulse to open these doors. That is enough for these bunker doors to open. Whatever regolith is collected on top to fall down and not get stuck on top of here, and then close these doors, letting our space scanners get back to work immediately. Well, after 60 seconds. And yeah. What else did I do? Storage. Yes, storage. I dug out this salt geyser we've spoken about. It's dormant right now, but it's gonna produce a fair amount of more water for us because we are actually consuming a lot of it now. Over here, I built this thing and then changed my mind. Don't really know what to do with that. Yeah, we're producing a lot of carbon dioxide with these petroleum gens, which we are now burning a lot of because it's so much less energy to produce petroleum compared to ethanol. It's just much more energy positive. I cleaned up this thing and enclosed these leaky oil fissures, both this one and the one below. Cleaned up all of this, and I did a little bit of a universal zero energy gas sorting system that is backed up. So anything to be sorted comes down here and gets picked up by these 1G filters that we designed previous stream. I have optimized them a little bit, just make them slightly more compact. And then there's storage for each of the types, and anything that overflows keeps on going up here and goes into this massive storage array, which is at this point mostly chlorine with some carbon dioxide. We need to find a way to use our chlorine. But like, germs aren't even a thing, at least in this biome, so I don't know. We have excavated a lot of the area down here. Speaking of which, nah, leave that for now. And yeah, I think that's pretty much the extent of it. I re-enabled this thing to take some load off these guys. Oh, and I automated the sweeping in the farm. I noticed that we were losing a lot of dupes travel time because these things were high priority, and all of a sudden a dupe that was up in space would decide to, hey, I need to move that seed into storage. So they would run down, leave their exosuit, come all the way down here, pick up the seed, put it here, and then go back up, put on their exosuit, and go do another thing. And as you can imagine, that's not super efficient. So I set up these doors to prevent anybody except the cooking team from going in here. Even actually, I had the sweepers as well, or gophers, but they don't even need to be here anymore. initially I only let the gophers come in here to do the hauling. Now it's just chefs and farmers, so others are not allowed in here, and that prevents them from even trying to path here. I also adjusted the logic here, so we will keep 2 fridges worth of food before we shut down the farm. And I had to disable these farm tiles because they were out of range of all of the sweepers. I could have designed this better, but it's good enough. And there's an extra row of bristle blossom. Yeah, I put in like what, 15 to compensate for losing 4 or 8. I don't know, math is hard. Oh, and then we have this new fancy great hall. This was up here before, and it was supposed to be a mess hall or a great hall, but it kind of wasn't. It was just a mess. And we have a soda fountain, which is a way to consume some of the carbon dioxide to make fancy carbonated beverages. Look at this art. Masterpiece. Is that not just advertising? If not, I don't know what is. Okay, let's see what we can print here. Iron? Sure, why not? Okay, so I've been thinking, chat, which is never a good thing. I was under the impression that we would be able to have multiple colonies on different planets. That's only in the DLC though, which turns out I don't have. Meaning, we can probably bring in some more dupes. Yep, we're gonna be bringing in more dupes. That's the long and short of it, so... yeah. I'm gonna expand on this thing. She's like, I promise you we're gonna get to space. Starts building everything but the space. Classic Emily. I don't know what y'all expected. Okay. There's the fly emergence in the kiddos room. Uh-oh. Okay, so I have no idea how much this rocket actually can carry. There's like no UI to tell you how much and how far you can go. There is an app that you can a web app that you can, you know, calculate stuff with, but honestly speaking, I feel like I don't want to pull that up on stream. Oh, that's a lot of juice to... Uh-oh. Why are you closing so late? Why do you not have power? You're hooked up. Are we overtaxing our generation capacity? Oh wow, we might be overtaxing our entire thing. Yep, that's not ideal. That is not ideal. Turn off! Turn off! Close! Yeah, we're fine. Dupes will fix it. Eventually. Oh gee, okay. What did we find? Steel. This rock consists of 27% steel and glass. Oh, that's actually interesting. We still don't have any glass. Okay, so we have no capable pilots, which we need to address. Hexer, welcome to being a rocket pilot. Camille, you too. And yeah, the rest of y'all ain't smart enough. Yeah, that's an issue. That's an issue. We actually need to fix that. That's bad. Like, we just chunked needed like an extra 3 kilowatts something. Do we not have enough like capacity in this whole thing to just do that? Is that where we're at? It's not ideal. So these wood burners can probably go at this point, right? I don't feel like they are super helpful. So there's this power control station where a sufficiently skilled duplicant can give 50% extra power output, and I feel like on the petroleum generators in particular, that would be very valuable. Move all of this over so I can fit a power control station here, because this needs to be in a power plant, which has a maximum size of 69 tiles. Really? 69 tiles? Yeah, we are at 329, which is more than 96. Yes, math does check out. So we're gonna move this over, gonna make this a sub room with a power control station, and call it a day. Did I say 69? 96? Close enough. I'll allow it. Okay, so let's hook these up together so we can get rid of this battery and do the shuffle. Why is not running? Pipe blocked. Oh, that's not great. Is that... Are we not catching up? Is 4 too little? Are you kidding me? Are 4 not enough? Holy moly, that's bad. Okay, we are going to be fixing mats. Yeah, that could be why we didn't have enough power if the nat gas generators were not able to run because of that. Good girl up. Huh? Yep, and yep. Oh, yeah, and I did some reconfiguring here. So, if the... Let's look at it from this way. I have two sensors here. If the water level on the clean side is below this level, and the poo water is above this level, then we can run this pump, because otherwise this geyser would be overpressurized and we would be losing capacity or losing water. So this is new, and it's ORed with the please make more water meow signal. This is like NMOS logic, or it's how was it called? Is it open collector? Open collector outputs, where you can just wire or these together. So if either we need more or we can create more, then we'll run this pump and run it through sieves. But the water flow from above is also coming down here, and it complements this, which now has a bias this way, but the remainder goes over here, and because that's going to be less than a full packet most likely, because this is going to be oxygen and whatnot. We fill the rest up with this pump using this trivial arrangement of bridges. This place is looking entirely nuts. Well, thank you, Jelly Friend. I'm gonna take that as a compliment. It's oxygen all the way down. I know, Kermit, that's pretty much, I think that's the most efficient way to create liquid oxygen at the start of the game, at least. Yeah, and this is a whole lot of natural gas. Once the pressure here gets up to a decent amount, we'll start pumping it out. And speaking of things I also made, this water source also goes straight up to fill this coolant loop, fill this thing, add this transfer medium here, and it eventually is going to be ran into an electrolyzer to produce oxygen and hydrogen that we're going... Why is there solid oxygen in here? Dagnabbit! Okay, we need to... this cannot be... How cold? Melting point 118, 218? Okay. So, melting point is at 218. And where is the dew point? Okay, so let's aim for dab center of that, 200, minus 200. So let's adjust here. And why are we not letting any more stuff in? Because it's a vacuum here, I don't know. Let's liquefy this. Hey, JWB, welcome in. Appreciate that. Things are easier to learn women than this game mechanic. I mean, not wrong. You're not wrong. And this is just, you know, the same thing we always do with our aquatuners, but for these thermoregulators and passing through more of them. It's not super efficient to do it this way, but it is the way I'm doing it, so there's that. Okay. What do we need to launch this rocket? We need steam. Just so happens we have a cool steam vent here that's dormant, so if we are sneaky, we might be able to just hook into this puppy and call it a day. I think we actually need to leave space underneath for water to pool. Otherwise, we could end up in a situation where it's not hot enough off the bat, so that instead of getting steam, it's all just gonna condense into water. And I guess we need a way of pumping that water out. And we also need a way to take the steam out. I actually want the steam, not the water. I mean, technically we could also, like, nab steam from in here and create, like, a thing where we extract steam and add more water. But that's, like, we're only going to do a couple of launches with the steam engine before we move to, like, petroleum, etc. We just need to get enough sciencey points. I'm not sure if you would prefer to skip in Wim or Oni though, they both have their applications and everything, which is fair, good points. Are we catching up on the carbon dioxide. Yes. Look at that skimmage, though. Look at that skimmage. Are we... We still need to let that out, though. Yeah, we still need to let that carbon dioxide out. You know what? Let's do it that way. Cleaner that way. Okay, that got built. We need to... this guy up. Do this. Move those. See if we can't get more of that thing. We also kind of sort of want a battery backup thing for these doors. Maybe in here? I am not opposed to that. So, we do not have a lot of gold. What do we have? A lot of copper. Yeah. Okay. Come on, game. Don't leave gaps. That's rude. That's rude. Okay, so how much power do these output? Batteries have a... They have a power output, this is power capacity. That... Devs, it's energy capacity and power leak. But what is the power? Like, do these output... I think they output like 200 watts each? So if I put 10 here, we should be able to supply 2 kilowatts on this wire, which should be enough to... Why are these opening? These are still... Logic? They're supposed to be closing. Yeah, close more faster. And what did we find here? Copper and igneous rock, okay. No ones that have obvious useful stuff on them yet. No gas intake? Excuse me, what? Hello? Oh, I messed that up. Whoops. Ah, look at that delicious, delicious locks. Gotta love it. So, I control this vent to let in more oxygen as long as the pressure is low enough and it is cold enough in here. Because we don't want to let in more hot gas and that then causes all the locks to vaporize. You know, that could be an issue. And there's been, like, this has been running for a hot minute because we need to bring not only all the, like, gas in here down to temperature, but we need to bring all the equipment down to temperature as well. I am using mafic rock here instead of insulated because we're in space. Vacuum is insulation, but this layer here between these is ceramic, which is the best insulator that we have at the moment. And we only have a tiny bit of it. So we gotta be careful. Or only use it where it's the most needed. And I believe we're gonna have 10 for this other side as well.